Then moving a little bit to the obscure, I really don't absolutely intend to, like, you're welcome to go for a smoke break, I really don't, really don't mind. I understand it takes us all, and if you weren't there, I wouldn't have anything to write about. It's called Chubby Bunny. She had a mouth made for sucking cock. Or so said the boys who followed hockey on TV. But to Bill, an odd little man with too much hair in his ears and a job as an accountant in a closet downtown, the idea of her oversized orifice licking his dick didn't do anything at all. Blowjobs unnerving, his fear, the vulnerability of balls in the open like being naked on TV. And yet still he would admit it was that hole into which he shoved food with which first he took notice, its size spawning envy, and a curiosity to wonder if she ever did camp as a kid, reveling in the glory of being chubby bunny queen, marshmallows his favorite, her chubby bunny soon chubby unny. Unrecognizable words with soon worry, focused on whether her life expectancy would be less, increased by her chances of choking on a marshmallow fetish, which was his, venturing instead into worlds of his fetishes reinvented, future lives spent as southern state rednecks, his Daisy May mouth bunny, mouth-hiding maggots when fishing for chub. Yes, sir, he sure liked her, saying she was different, it good enough for her, at first. Growing to lament, though, the gift she historically lived for, her mouth craving and starved. Two more. Yay. Yeah. So you know those people that whenever you're around, they just always seem to talk about sex. Yeah. You know those people that like teaching you words like pegging and shrimping? Well, about a week and a half ago, I was talking to a friend, and they brought up this thing that I had never heard about, and I was shocked. It's called the Ice Queen, and I have to differentiate number two because I know somebody whose nickname is actually the Ice Queen. The Ice Queen. Really, go for a smoke if you need it. There were some things she found easier said to strangers. Her husband, a sweetheart, caged in hollow worlds of monotony, which were his, never asking her for more. Powdered cheeks and knee boots telling him most weekends of plans to go dancing with Christy, with Amy, with girls from downtown. Her lie, too easy to tell, ending up instead in an off-the-highway motel room with a man and a cooler and 3 bags of ice, the excitement never freezing, as her European nipples withdrew into cartilage hard-like lumplets of pale, lifeless flesh, as she shivered in the bathtub, the ice melting around her. Her mind on the ad she answered from Craigslist, the pet name she exchanged with 2-year-old pictures of her face and money shots of a landing strip-style pussy not hers. And when the shivering stops, when her surrender to the coldness gives way, he carries her to the bed for their last acts of strangeness. The TV turned to championship tennis or golf as low-wattage lamplight and smoke from a cigarette cast lazy shadows across the curved body she can't see. Her eyes closed and body still, being fucked far more gently than a husband has shown. Her first light movements of life involuntary, reacting in surprise to his warm squirting semen. So incredibly disturbing, but so incredibly warm. Every time I edit that, like all these, like maybe 10 or 11 times, I thought, there's got to be things that are easier to say than fast. can understand where she's at with going to Craigslist. No way. I mean, I'd probably sooner say something like, honey, I ran over the kids, or, I mean, but that's the kind of thing shouldn't you say before you get married? And for the last one, this is the only one that's kind of not made up. Could as well have happened a few years ago, or a multitude of times. Do I have to, give it away? I'm sure you'll know then that the male is me. It's called Half Plastic Man Trap. Behind the overdone makeup plastered to her face, there was promise. For those liking challenge, a boat moored too long at the dock, weeping hurt through her cracks. A leaking of knowledge insidiously gained, her implying hand on my thigh and fuck eyes fixed into mine. Burdened with the illusion to mend broken things, ignite the lost cause her ex set adrift. Her confidence tortured and capsized, the name Man-Trap submerged, hiding from radar, hiding from the reality that she was one of them. A woman using hurt as a weapon, luring prey close and then walking away when she can have them. I, another sucker for mischievous and lipstick that hunts in the shadows, crippled and breached, a disposable shipwreck myself, as the half-plastic man-trap moved on to a man with a ring. My pride still bent a year later, giving her the coldest of shoulders. But then I see her. See how she's changed the way of ignoring me since I chose to ignore her, making me still want her, those fuck eyes, reflected in glass, looking when I'm not, thinking of it too, our bodies naked, plain rough, hers a self-conscious vessel caught in past trauma, addicted to the hurt of how an empty heart tries to bleed, as mine, beaten, worn under the claw of manicured nails, gets even more lost in the certainty of aloneness, even before my half-plastic man-trap moves on again.